How to cut this shorthand asymmetric fitted gown. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today we'll be cutting this dress. Alright, this is the easiest way for you to cut this. First, looking at it, it does not have zip, it does not have button, and the fabric used for it is a stretchy fabric. So these are the things you put into consideration. If you're making it, it has to be a stretchy fabric. Not that you can actually use a fabric that is not stretchy. You can, but this particular one, they use the stretching fabric. All right, they use the stretching fabric to make it. There is no zip, there is no button. All right, so let's head over. The first thing we will be doing is our calculation. All right, you can see the measurements: our bust, shoulder, waist, hip, half length, and gown length. This is a short gown. Now when you divide by 4, because you fold your fabric into 4 when cutting, you can see my bust, waist, and hip, I added 2 inches to it. Mind you, this is not what you should add. What determines your sewing allowance, if you should add sewing allowance or not, is if the fabric you are to use to make this dress is very stretchy. If it is very stretchy, you do not need a sewing allowance. If it stretches a little bit, you can go with 1 or 2 inches sewing allowance. If it doesn't stretch at all, please go with up to 3 sewing allowance. All right, now having done that, this is my pattern paper. First thing I will be marking is my shoulder. Okay, now this pattern paper is folded into 2. It's folded into 2, and that is my shoulder, which is shoulder 8 according to the calculation. All right, now I will place my tape this way, indicate my armhole depth, indicate my waist, indicate my hip, and indicate the gown length. All right, these are the measurements needed, the basic measurement rather. These are the basic measurement, because we do not have a dart on it, we do not have a bustier on it. It is just a plain fitted dress, so it is definitely the basic measurement you work with. Okay, so you need the shoulder to the armhole depth, shoulder to the waist, you need the shoulder to the hip, and shoulder to the gown length. All right, now having done that, we'll start with this to connect. All right, I've indicated all the basic lines. You see this is my shoulder, my bust, and this is my waist, my hip, and my gown length. All right, these are the basics. Whatever you're sewing, there is always a basic to start with. All right, now having done that, we'll start our measurement, our bust measurement, plus either 1 or 2 inches or 3 inches, depending on the fabric you're working with. This style can come in an unfitted fabric. You can sew it using any fabric. All right, so I marked my waist, marked my bust. Okay, I decided to go with 1 inches because the fabric I'm using is stretchy. This is it, the hip plus 1 inches. Now you come down here, this is the gown length. Remember, it is short. I just marked only the hip measurement. I did not add sewing allowance, meaning I took away 1 inches from the hip. All right, I do not want it too tight on the down because it's a short gown already. I do not want it too tight down, but you can go in more if you choose to. Now I've connected all the lines. I connected the gown length to the hip to the waist to the bust. All right, now the next thing is for us to curve our armhole. You can do freehand. All right, if you choose to, or you use your French curve to go around the cutting. All right, now this is our basic gown. This is our basic. So all these parts will be cut off. We do not need them anymore. Yeah, we do not need them anymore. If you're a beginner, please, if you're trying to sew this style, I will advise you use pattern paper to cut it. Alright, now I have taken out the part that is not needed. Okay, where we need to pay concentration right now is the upper part of it, that is the shoulder. Okay, we need to mark our neck width. Right, now for this neck width, I decided to go for 3.5. Okay, for this neck width. Right, then for the slanting of our shoulder will be 1 inches. Okay, for the slanting of our shoulder, 1 inches. Neck width, I went for 3.5. I can always widen it if I choose to. Let me bring it this way so you get to see it perfectly well. Alright, shape this. Now what I'm doing is connecting our shoulder. Yeah, okay, connecting the shoulder from the neck width to the shoulder slant. You see that? Now remember, this is folded into 2. I usually love to cut this out. Okay, having done this, the next thing I like to do is use scissors to indicate where the neck width is. Right, if you use the chalk, I like to use scissors to give you the little cut so it will appear on both sides before opening it up. Once you have done this, you open it up. Okay, you open it you open it up. It is time we are making our asymmetric, making it asymmetric on one hand. Right, now having marked this, you see that is the 2 places our neck width. Now your asymmetric hand can come from any side. Okay, it can be here my tape is to the other side. It can come. Now from the shoulder, I took 3.5. I came to the armhole, I extended it by 1 inches. I went down by 1 inches and I took 3.5 from the shoulder and placed it this way. Then curve. You see that? You see, now it didn't get to my neck width. This is neck width 2.5. The other one is 3. Now the reason why I measured that center is because I do not want it choking on the neck. Alright, I extended it by the shoulder, okay, by 1 inches again. Let's see if we can actually be on the, so it will not be too choky, it will not be high on the neck. Alright, now all this I'm doing is for my asymmetric not to choke the neck. You can see, having done this, I extended the shoulder to connect it again. I am still getting a high neck depth. So the best is you do freehand and connect it this way. Alright, depending on the depth you want your shoulder to go. Sorry, the neck depth. We'll come here to curve it again. Remember, if you're looking at the style, you'll be seeing that one part is asymmetric, the other part is more like an off shoulder. One part is asymmetric, the other hand is off shoulder. So that's 3.5 I took away is our off shoulder. Now if you look at the shoulder, you see it's tiny, it is not this big. Okay, the shoulder is tiny, it is not this big. So I will recurve it this way. I'm recurving the shoulder to give it a tiny shoulder. All right, to give it a tiny shoulder, I can do freehand. All right, all these parts will be cut off. Now you can deepen, you can keep going, deepen the neck more if you want, but bear in mind, if what you're making is a stretchy fabric, okay, you need to be cautious. All right, you need to be cautious. So you use the scissors and cut. You see that? This is it. Now let's cut the second one. All right, if you have done cutting it this way and you're placing it on the fabric, you cannot fold it into two again. Whatever you're doing has to be opened up this way. You can see how I'm opening it up to trace the second one on the pattern paper. Whatever you're doing, you must open it up. You cannot be cutting it on the fabric folded into two again, because they are no more the same. Okay, they are no more the same. Now I have done, you see there are two now. This is how it will look when you cut yours. There are two already. Okay, so what is left is our band by the side here, which is tieable. Okay, so you just get a band. Remember, you have to consider how to finish it. The fabric you have determines how to finish it. What are the ways of finishing this? You can use folding. Okay, you can fold it. That is, you can do double folding or just taping, those already made finishing on the neck. One, that is, you weave and you sew, fold it and sew. You can go for facing depending on the fabric, but if your fabric is stretchy, the only method of finishing this is you using weaving and folding, or you have double, that is the industrial already made machine, that is for the double sewing. That is the best way if you can, but if you do not, so you see this is it. You can equally decide to use facing. Okay, this is it. All right, I'll bring it out this way. This is the two band. You see that these are the two band. Let me place this very well. It is not well placed. Hope you're seeing what I'm doing. These are the two band. So guys, if you have not subscribed to the channel, do subscribe. And if you have any question, let me know in the comment section. And watch out for the sewing video. What I just need to do is take this paper and place it on my fabric and cut it out. I just want to show you the finishing, what you'll be getting. Okay, now having done this, this is the band. It is tieable, and it can be as long as you want. This is it. You see that? So guys, if you have any question, I would love to see it on the comment section. This is how your paper, the one you'll be trying on your paper, should be before proceeding to the fabric.